Rushing here with www.abbeyathletics.com, your place for stats, standings, stories, and more. Certainly the gentleman beside of me, no stranger to winning and success here at Belmont Abbey College, as his women's soccer team is the defending Conference Carolinas champions. I want to say hello to Coach Michael Lynch. Mike, thank you so much for being here with us this afternoon. Let's get right into it. It seems like it wasn't that long ago that Simone Melvin puts a ball on her foot that seemed like it traveled the distance from Greenville to Spartanburg to finally get into the back of the net, that sealed the win about 2/3 of the way through in the match for the championship in the Conference Carolinas tournament final. Since then, you guys have celebrated a conference championship, you've gone to the NCAA tournament, and now you're essentially putting yourself in a position to where it's a new year. There certainly has to be some new expectations, but there's some things that certainly I would imagine that you still celebrate from last year's club. Kind of give us an idea of, when you think about last year's club and how it translates to this year, some of the things that go through your mind.
Yeah, absolutely. First, you're spot on with Simone's goal against Pfeiffer in that conference championship game. That was a blaster. We had always kind of joked at practice that if she pulls the trigger and keeps it on frame, it's going to be a great goal for the memory banks. You know, Simone had a great career. You think of that goal, and then she had a PK winner the year before. So
absolutely,
I was really happy for her. It was a great goal, and certainly put us an opportunity to win that championship. Of course, we defended for a lot of that game too. So, but we were happy to get that conference championship and then get into the NCAA tournament again. This is a team that has now been to 3 straight NCAA tournaments. And so,
that's correct.
If you look at the squad last year, which again won that conference championship, got into the NCAA tournament, we had some really good performances out of everybody. And you can't say, first you have to start off with Hannah Coles. You know, we had a 4-year starter and a goalkeeper, and that was her senior year. She again was a big part of our defense and led us to that conference championship. And so that's going to be probably the biggest position that this year we're going to have to find out, what's going to happen. We've got 3 players that came in, or 3 players that are vying for that spot right now. Megan Bowen's been here as Hannah's backup for 3 years, and she's certainly chomping at the bit to get on the field, and she's been doing really well. We have a freshman that came in, Kaylin O'Hop, who's also showing well in practice, and we have Kat Andrews, who is a converted player, and from forward to goalkeeper, and she's doing really well too. So it's going to be tough to fill Hannah's shoes, but we're really excited about how all 3 are doing right now. But as I mentioned, that last year's team was a great squad, and we have 8 starters back from that team, and players. A lot of those players are ones that have been playing since they were freshmen, and so they have a ton of experience, and so we're excited. We're really excited about this year. We know that each year you have to go and get your wins, and you start from scratch again. And these kids certainly know that. They came in fit. We exceeded the last year's, which was a record high in fitness, and this year's test standards we exceeded again and beat those results. And so we knew we had a highly motivated class, a class that wants to continue to strive and push themselves. And so right now, we're cautiously optimistic. Everybody came in pretty fit, and the seniors, which is now, again, this is a senior class that's been to 3 straight NCAA tournaments. They've done a really good job last spring in kind of setting the tone, and then over the summer keeping in touch with everybody to make sure that everybody came in fit.
Now, Coach, you mentioned the 3 consecutive NCAA championship berths to where this team has participated in the national tournament. Do you find that with this club, as experienced and as veteran-laden as they are, do you find them contending with a new set of pressures and expectations, or do you begin to see that this program is starting to turn the corner to where the expectation is every year is to achieve a high level of success, and therefore the newcomers that come on know that from the first day that they're on campus here at Belmont Abbey that the expectation is that, and they absolutely want to do everything in their power to live up to those expectations?
Absolutely. I mean, the program's had a very strong tradition. Over the past 20 years, it's been 16 or 17 regular or conference tournament championships. And the NCAA tournament, in addition to the 3 straight, there's been 5 of the last 6. And so it's a very high expectation, but we never take it for granted. We know that every year we need to get it done on the field. We have to be prepared because teams would very much not like to see Belmont Abbey at the top. And so we have to bring our A game. We have to be ready. But these girls have shown that that's where they thrive. I mean, this senior class has been doing a great job for us since they were freshmen, and the classes that have come in since then have been great classes as well. And you look at the kids that we have joining our program this year. I mean, we look at the kids who are now wanting to come to Belmont Abbey. They know we have very high expectations, very high standards. It's a very rigorous program, and so, but we're attracting those kids. And we brought in 14 new players, 12 freshmen, 2 transfers. All of them are doing great right now. They're contributing in playing minutes and important. They showed really well in our exhibition matches, and so I do think that the program has gotten to a point where we have very high expectations, but at the same time we know that we're going to have to get it done on the field in order to put ourselves in a position to be able to go for a championship again.
I'm going to ask you a very loaded question, and if we left you to talk about it to the length that you probably could, this would immediately turn into a half an hour show. Mm-hmm. However, Coach, kind of give us an idea of some of those players that you're anticipating, if all goes well, are going to make a dramatic impact on this program and continue to help this team get to the level of success that they've had in the recent years, knowing that, as you mentioned, you've got 8 returning starters to the club.
Yeah. Well, in those 8 starters are also 5 all-conference picks from last year. Jillian Lang was an all-region player. She was first-team all-conference. She's been the anchor of our midfield. Almost every game that we come off the field, the opposing coach will comment to me just, again, the kind of performance that she had. And she is an exceptional player, has had a very good career for us. But she's just one of many. We had 4 additional all-conference players. You look at the scoring combination of Megan Phillip and Sierra Skyers, both who were all conference, who led the conference in scoring and points and goals in the top 5 in both categories. And when you have one player on your team that can score goals, that's a big strength. And when you've got 2, that's even better. And so we're really blessed in that aspect. And we've got some more players this year that are looking really good. I think they're going to contribute a lot. And so we're excited about that to try to continue to balance out our scoring. And then you look at we had 2 more all-conference players. They happen to be in the senior class too, Cass Catino and Megan Nanny. Megan has been a starter in our defense the past 2 years, has been rock solid, and Cass, Cass is Cass. Wherever we put her, she continually makes a big difference, is always making big plays for us, and then has to be the most positive, inspirational person we have on our team. And so we're really excited about those 5 players and really the whole squad that's coming in, because it's a real positive team force, and I think everybody is contributing in their own way.
Now, this is a club that has for years been very defensive minded. They've been able to hold teams scoreless, certainly in check. They don't give a ton of goals away, there's no doubt about it. However, a lot of the ladies that you mentioned on this club have the ability to transition from a defensive set and go immediately in transition into the front half of the field. With that said, that puts a relentless amount of pressure on the other squad. And that was sort of by design on your part. Kind of give us an idea of what it's like to be a team facing Belmont Abbey, knowing that you're going to have the striking ability, the finishing ability of a Sierra Skyers, of a Megan Phillip, knowing that you've got players in the midfield like a Laura Shelton, a Cass Catino, a Jillian Lang, who continue to put that sort of offensive pressure in waves on an opposing club.
Absolutely. I've always believed that defensively, it's like offense wins games, defense wins championships. So defensively, you have to be organized to put yourself in contention over a whole season. And so we've always spent a lot of time in trying to be organized as best we can and be able to keep the team as far away from the goal as possible, or at least to keep their good, we call them soft goals, to not give them the opportunities, the minimum number of opportunities possible, so we can keep that goal against average less than 1, hopefully for the season. But our goal for average, we're trying to get to be greater than 2. And like you said, when you've got the ability to keep the team defensively, not allowing the other team to score on us, but at the same time we're putting them under pressure offensively, then offense is your best defense. And so kind of our theory is hopefully we can hold the ball and move the ball around and have the ball long enough that we're not having to defend very much and kind of get our offense our defense. And then at the same time, put together more and more dangerous scoring opportunities. And you mentioned a player, Laura Shelton, and I hadn't mentioned her yet. And she hasn't been named all-conference, but she's certainly been on our all-tournament teams in the past, and she's been a standout player for us all 3 years. She, Cass, Megan, 3 captains voted this year. All 3 are great leaders, great players. They represent everything that I think the program is about and what we're trying to do. Again, they're very good technically. They're very smart players. Their attitude and character is top shelf. I mean, they really do bring a lot to our team. And I think when you have those kind of players on the field, we're going to have adversity, but I think they're going to be able to take that adversity and weather the storm and then hopefully come out good on the other side.
Now, one final question that I'll ask you, and I do want to thank you for your time today, is to those young ladies that are now participating in club soccer, high school soccer, so on and so forth, they'll hear about the likes of Belmont Abbey, perennial Conference Carolinas contenders, if not champions, 3 consecutive NCAA bids now, that type of thing. And certainly those things do stand out in the mind of a potential recruit. There's no question about it. But some of the other things that you've been able to incorporate into this program that stretch beyond the bounds of the pitch and takes them into the classroom, takes them into their social life, kind of give us an idea for those prospective student athletes that might be viewing this, and even more importantly, the parents of those prospective student athletes. What are some of the things that make this experience at Belmont Abbey so unique and so fulfilling after a 4-year career?
It's our primary goal of our program to graduate leaders of excellence and virtue. And so in order to do that, we have to attract and retain what we call both-and recruits, both-and prospects. So these are kids who are both soccer junkies, very good technically, have good athletic attributes, and then also very good in the classroom, very strong character. Faith has to be important to them. We're a Christ-centered school. It's what we're all about. And so when you can find the players who have those attributes and they're looking to go to a school that where those things are important, then again I think it's a good match. It's a win-win, and that's what we're finding in our recruiting classes, our past recruiting classes. That's been, Coach Jamie and I, we try to do the best we can, but in the end, it's really the talent that we got available to us, and we've been able to attract very good talent, very good kids, and hopefully create an environment for them to thrive in. And we're seeing that in our classes coming down the road. The people that have committed to us going in the future are just fantastic. So we're super excited about this year, and we're very excited about the coming years because of the kids that are showing interest in the Abbey right now. And it's these players had other options. We're trying to give them an option that's going to say, hey, here's a top academic school in a Christ-centered environment that hopefully will be in a position to play for championships. And so that should be very attractive to a lot of people.
Sure.
But now what we're finding is the kids who had Division I options at other schools, and they're saying, hey, I want to go to the Abbey. I want to come to the Abbey and I want to play at the Abbey. We have a tagline that I really believe that our kids believe. Well, I know they believe it, and they live it. And that is, we're playing a sport we love with teammates we love for a God we love, and I think that pretty much represents what our program's all about.
Well, Coach, I can't wait to see your team, your coaching staff out on the pitch September the 12th as they'll open up the home schedule. You'll be making your way out of state to begin the regular season, so certainly you've created the standard here. You're going to go out and play top flight competition, and at the end of the day, hopefully you'll still be standing, raising up another banner here on the Belmont Abbey campus.
Yeah, we do open with a tough schedule. I love to schedule as hard as we can, especially in our non-conference segment.
Right.
And so we open with Queens, which is, again, always going to be a very, very tough match. Queens is always good. They used to be our arch rival, one of our arch rivals in the conference, now in the South Atlantic, but still a very, very, very tough, good regional opponent. And then we head to Alabama to play 2 top-ranked teams there. And so we do that because we want to see where we're at. And we come back and play Lander, and that's going to be a great team from the Peach Belt. So again, it'll give us a chance to see kind of where we're at, what we need to learn still as we head into conference. But we're excited. We're excited. You know, we've got a good group back. So far, we've been able to avoid the injury bug, and so if we keep doing the very best we can and learn from the games that we have, then hopefully again we'll be in a position to compete for championships.
Well, Coach, best of luck to you this year, and I can't wait to see you out on the home pitch.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Folks, for stats, standings, stories, and more, there's only one place in cyberspace when it comes to your Crusaders. That place, www.abbeyathletics.com. For head coach Michael Lynch, this is Brian Rushing.